I'm laughing because it's late. I know it's late, but the question is it too late? So today has been a doozy. Doing these lives have become a challenge because, and I hope you can hear because I have my pod in just to make sure, because the baby is on a weird kind of sleeping schedule. Plus, he just transitioned to the crib. So he does kind of sleep good in there, but he also doesn't like being in there alone by himself for a long time. So, okay. So I put him down and hopefully things are fine. But I feel like I can't record in the room anymore with the light on and everything because he's just too alert and awake and all that stuff for that now. So this may be my spot for right now. It's not where I want to film, but yes. Okay. So, um, tonight's live is going to be, and another reason why I'm late is because I was doing my daughter's retwist, and she has 196 locks, and not that it takes a long time, it's just that my time is split so many different ways, breastfeeding the baby, making sure everybody gets fed, lesson time, all that stuff, so I have to stop a lot, and yeah, so that took a while. But yeah, but she's done, everyone's in the bed, and now I'm doing this live. So I did a live recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, about epidural, like how I birthed without an epidural. So I have had two C-sections. I have four kids, but I had two C-sections and two vaginal births. My C-section was my first birth, and then I had two vaginal births after that, and then my last birth was a C-section. So throughout all of them, I did labor without an epidural. And for my vaginal births, I did not have an epidural. For my C sections, I had a spinal. Um, and that worked wonderfully for that. So I've never had one, and all of my labor has been without one. So I have a lot of tips for moms out there who are also looking to, birth without an epidural. I'm also a doula as well. And I would like to say that I specialize in epidural free births because so far none of my clients have had an epidural. So, um, I feel like I have a lot of personal experience with laboring without an epidural, and then I can share that here on this channel and with my clients in real life. So yeah, so that video, if you haven't seen that live, check it out. I do have a couple other videos on this channel about how to birth without an epidural, but there was a couple of things that I missed in that live that I wanted to go back to because honestly, the ones that I missed were really, really important ones, and I don't know how I missed them. Well, I kinda know how I missed him because I was distracted with the baby. That was, like, the last one that I did, in the room, and he just was not going to sleep. I laid him down, tried to get on here, and he just was like, "No." So I had to hold him, and he was distracting me, so I couldn't get my thoughts together. So I missed a few. So I definitely want to mention those because the ones that I missed were really, really big for me. At least I feel like that helped me to be able to birth without an epidural. And the first one that I can remember, like as soon as I stopped recording, I was like, dang, how did I forget that one? But the first one is visualization. Now that was really, really, really big for me. And I did talk in my last live about like just how I needed things to be kind of dark. And you can see I'm a glasses wearer, but during labor, I did not have my glasses on. I don't know, like just wearing my glasses was not a good thing for me during labor. Um, and then if I did have contacts in, I usually ended up taking them out. So, for the most part, I labored, as dark as I could make it. I did give birth in a hospital, so as dark or as dim as I could make it. And with my eyes closed most of the time, especially when those contractions were really, really, really kicking my butt. And I will get into the contractions part a little bit later, but visualization worked for me so, so much. So when I would have a contraction, it's kind of weird because when you're in labor or when you're having contractions, like real ones, real contractions and not Braxton Hicks, you could kind of like feel it come on before it actually comes on. At least for me, like I would get this little sensation and I would know, okay, I'm about to have a contraction, and then it would and build and build until its most painful point, and then it would ebb away. Now, one of the things that I did say in the other video is that that really helped me to focus, during labor and all of that, was just knowing that the contraction pain did not last forever. Like, even though, it hurt and my labors were, well, one of my labors was really, really, really long. Um, I knew that it wasn't forever. So when I would have a contraction, I would like tell myself, I can make it through this contraction. I can make it through this 30 seconds or this minute of pain. I know it's going to go away. And then when you had that break in between contractions, it would help me to mentally regroup. So definitely your mindset definitely matters, especially if you're trying to birth and labor without an epidural. And that's even if you do plan on having one later, or you ask for one and they can't get to you fast enough. So it does help for your mindset to just kind of remind yourself to be calm, like you're not in any super super danger. It's just pain and it's part of the process. So that's one of the things. But like for me, I visualize like waves. Now I love the beach. I love going to the beach. The beach is probably my second favorite place to go. And yeah, I love hearing waves. I love watching water. I love watching, the waves crash on the shore and all of that. So